Jose, just how disappointing was that?
Was 3-4 big chances in the first half to have a different result. The biggest chance of the second half to kill the game with 2-0, and then once more we concede a goal that is completely avoidable. I have to admit that in the second half they played more. They, of course, were losing and they tried, but even so, we didn't make it safe, and we could kill the game. And again, we lose a man in the box in the corner, which is something that happens in the majority of the times in set pieces. This time was in free play.
How much of a concern is it for you that you are conceding these goals when you have a narrow lead and they're costing you points?
Of course, costing points. We have lots of opportunities to kill matches. In other cases, especially away, we are winning, and then we don't keep that ambition, that desire to score the goals and to kill the game. And many times it happens in the last part of the game to concede. But today was a kind of game that was controlled and across, and we lose a man in the box.
Can you do anything to change that, or do your players have to step up and change that for you?
There are things that are individual. There are things that they have to be with individual qualities and individual mistakes. And basically I cannot say much more than that.
The games keep on coming. You'll have another game this weekend, a chance to bounce back. How important is that?
Yeah, it's good that we play. It's not good that after the game on Sunday we have then 10 days and we play only the Monday next week. That is the one that I'm not happy with, but in this moment I don't think we are in conditions to moan or to complain with fixtures and dates. We just have to accept that and play.
The transfer window is open. Are you expecting to be busy in terms of comings and goings?
No, I'm not expecting that.
Nothing at all?
I'm not expecting.
Well, Scott, given everything that happened in the build-up, how impressed were you with that performance?
Yeah, very impressed, to be fair. I thought it was outstanding tonight from start to finish, to be honest with you. Everything about us, performance-wise, with the ball, everything about us, yeah. And also, like you said, with what's happened, a lot of talk, but no one really knows what we've probably been through over the last couple of weeks. Players out there tonight what have had 1 day's training. Players in the squad what have barely had any day's training, have been in the building yesterday, some of them. And to prepare the game like we did, and to play like we did, and I think that's what I'm pleased the most with. I'm proud of the team because of how we performed under the circumstances, but I'm even more proud of them because we showed some real quality today. I thought we caused Tottenham numerous problems, and to be honest with you, a draw at the end of it, you're thinking, we could maybe win the game.
As a manager, you live and die by your decisions, and it looks like the substitution was a great decision by you.
I mean, look, the second half, the way the game was coming, I felt the goal was coming. I felt we had a real dominance in the second half, and you got someone on the pitch there in Addy who carves them chances out of nothing, and Cavallero puts it in the back of the net. And then after that, like I've said, some big chances, to be fair. Ruben, I remember going through. So yeah, all round, I thought our general play tonight was superb. I'm very, very pleased.
It keeps the unbeaten run going as well, with some huge games coming up.
Big games coming up, yeah. We face these in this division this year. For us, every game's going to be massive. We understand that. We've come to a big club with top players who have done well. We showed our quality today, had an identity about us, put our stamp on this game, and that's what pleases me the most.
Mitrovic, Kane and Lamina all missing today. Are they going to be out for a specified amount of time, or might they?
And that's what pleases me the most.
Mitrovic, Kane and Lamina all missing today. Are they going to be out for a specified amount of time, or might they soon be available to you again?
I'm hoping some may be available soon. So the squad we had today was the numbers we've had, and like I've said to you, this team and this group have been under it a little bit, and we had that at times last year, to be honest with you. And when we was under it, we've we've normally proved up and stood up to it, and we did that tonight. So hopefully them players will be coming back, and we can keep moving.
It all bodes well for you avoiding relegation, doesn't it, with that spirit?
Yeah. If there's one thing you do need, is first and foremost is a spirit, and that's first and foremost, and that's something we drum in, and we're drumming in every day. But also you need quality, and I don't think anyone who was watching that game tonight could not say that the quality we produced, the way we played, how we caused Tottenham numerous problems, certainly first half even, and then second half as well. So, of course, we want spirit, and you need personality, and you need an endeavour and a desire, but you also need quality. To stay in this division, you need quality, and we showed that in abundance as well.
Just finally, Jose made a real point of waiting for you pre-match, so clearly no hard feelings there.
No, look, I played with Jose, and I understand. I understand everything. It is what it is. Everyone tries to stir up things the way they were. I don't know whether Jose was planning on that, but look, listen, at the end of it, it was game time. I said that to you after, and we had one focus tonight, and that was to go and put a performance in, and I'm glad we did that.
Well, Harry, it's ended a draw. Is the overall feeling, though, one of disappointment, because you did have chances to actually take all 3 points today?
Yeah, I think so. We had a couple of chances in the second half just to kill the game, but didn't quite take them, and got punished for it. Still feel like we could have played better second half, especially. Didn't quite keep the ball well enough. And yeah, it's disappointing. Of course, whenever you're leading, especially at home, whenever you drop the points, it's never easy to take.
Is there any sort of concern within the team that you do concede quite a lot of goals in the second half? I think that's the 12th Premier League goal you conceded in the second half this season.
Yeah, I think we need to get better at it, especially when we're leading in games, to get on the ball more, keep it, tire the opposition out. It seems at the moment we're panicking a little bit, dropping too deep, and then the pressure comes, and they can get across like they did and score a goal. So we need to take control a little bit more, and we need to turn it around quick, because it's happened too many times this season.
And a word on your goal, it was a fine header. You score a lot of goals, the team as a whole, in the sort of first half. Is that really important to the way that you play?
Yeah, I think so. I think probably we start the games better than we finish them at the moment. It was good to get the goal. We had a couple of chances to kill the game off, like we said earlier. But we've got to take them. But like I said, second half disappointing. It's been the story of our season so far. So we've got to try and turn it around quick.
And do you feel it's a bit of a missed opportunity to move back into the top four? Do you feel that there's plenty of time to be able to do that?
No, definitely a missed opportunity. I think. Of course, we want to win every game, and we can see how tight it is at the top of the league there. So a win today would have put us right up there. So of course disappointing, but look, we've got another game on Sunday we have to get ready for.
Well, Harry Kane describes it as the story of the season for Tottenham, and we can see there it's the 10th point that they've dropped from winning positions. That's now 5 times this season in 5 separate games, Glenn. Mm-hmm. When Tottenham have gone ahead, they've failed to take all 3 points. And Harry Kane describes it there as, we panic a bit and we drop too deep. How can they correct that?
Well, I think the panic, they need more possession of the ball. And I think, as I said before, they need a freedom in their minds. I think it's a mental thing. They're now getting to a situation where they're dropping too deep. As you said, I think Harry drops too deep at times as well. It's all right, I'm arriving in that position. Second half, he played too deep for my liking. I like him when he comes into them positions, but not to stand in there and be in there. And consequently, the whole back four go a little bit deeper. But I think it's more than that. I think that when they're 1-0 up, they're caught in between 2 stools. They're not sure whether to keep the handbrake on and see the game out. Well, that's not working. They've dropped the 10 points. So they've got to look at it a different way and let Aurier go a little bit down the right side. They let Reguilon go, but they're very unbalanced in the way they attack when they're 1-0 up. I've seen it before. They seem to tuck Aurier in, or whoever's playing right back, and they let the left side go, where I think they've got to take a little bit more of a risk to earn that second goal and then go and win the points.
Do you think that with what Harry Kane's just said there, that signifies that this is a player mentality and not the fact that Jose Mourinho is telling them to put the handbrake on when they're ahead?
I think it's the opposite. I think it's the manager. And I think that when the manager continues to, say you go 1-0 up, 2-0 up, when the manager after 50 minutes, 55, 60 minutes, look how many times Ndombele gets brought off after an hour. It's virtually every single game. Today, he lasted about 70 minutes and me and Glenn were quite astonished. But all the time, Jose Mourinho will go 1-0 up, he'll bring his attacking midfielder up and he'll put another sitting midfielder on. And if you keep doing that, that just sends a subliminal message to a player that, right, we're defending. We're gonna, we're not thinking of going to score the second goal. And that seed just plants in your mind time after time after time. So I think that they've got to free themselves of that. And do you know what? Once in a while, go and put a centre forward on or something, and make the, because they often say, don't they, attack is the best form of defence.
Yeah. I think they've got to have a little bit of a conflab on that. And I think that Harry Kane, the experienced players, have got to ask the manager. If the manager isn't actually saying, look, I prefer to sit tight and we try and win the game 1-0, and I'll make the substitutions as I see fit from the bench. Ask him the question, what do you want us to do, Gaffer? Are we going to go for the throat? Because at the moment they look as if they're in two minds. They really are. And I just think they've got to get a real 100% clarity from the manager. Are we going for it to get the second and kill this game off? Because it could be a season of what could have been. If you're looking at them 10 points that we just showed, if that continues, they'll look back and they'll go, wow, what could have that been if we'd have just, from those winning positions, got those points that we should have done, if they'd have gone for the throat, if they'd have had the freedom to go and play. Because when they go 1-1, then they turn it round and they start putting bodies forward, they start playing aggressive with the passing. So it's in there waiting to come out.
How difficult is that, Michael, though, as a player in a dressing room, to go to the manager and say, hang on a minute, I think we should do it this way instead? Yeah, well, it's the way you do it, and it's got to be a certain type of player. I suppose Harry Kane could do it. It's the way you ask. I
didn't mean this. This is ask the manager what you want.
Right.
We're a little bit sort of crossover, dear. What do you want us to do? Because it seems to me as if there's a bit of the team want to go and attack, and the other team want to sort of defend a little bit, and. There needs to be clarity. It's not we made this decision, Gaffer. What do you want us to do? What's our mentality about, are we going to hang on to this 1-0 and really defend deep and really play like we're playing against, like they did at Stamford Bridge when we saw them bank up so deep? Do you want us to play like that and try and hit them on the counter and get the second goal? Because at the moment they're in between and it's not working.
So does there need to be more clarity, therefore, then, Michael, between the manager and the players on how they approach games when they're ahead?
Yeah, possibly, but I watch Tottenham and watch them a lot and often think to myself, as soon as they go 1-0 up, I'm just waiting and I'm just looking on the side of the pitch to see what's the next defensive move. So if I'm thinking that, what's Harry Kane thinking? I mean, he's actually played it quite well there in the interview. But I'm reading between the lines thinking, he's saying, we dropped too deep, a bit panicky and all the other things. Basically, I think he'd be preferring to go and score another goal. Yeah. I mean, look, when we're playing, when the handbrake's off, we're beating Fulham 1-0. All of a sudden, we start getting, and it's a natural instinct, don't get me wrong. When you've got something to hold on, if you're scared, if you go home, you keep what you've got. But sometimes, as I say, the best form of defence is attack. And I think Jose Mourinho could do with just switching it up a little bit and not every time you go ahead bringing another defensive player on.
And could you say they were almost fortunate in the end, actually, to come away with a point, Tottenham?
Very much so. I mean, if you're looking to defend the way they're doing it at the moment, it's not as if the opponents they're playing, whoever it is, they're only getting one chance and they're taking that one chance to get the 1-1 draw. They're letting 3 or 4 chances in, so it's not working. For me, they've got to go for the throat and play more open when they're 1-0 up still, because they're trying to sort of defend a little bit. But it's that's working if the opponents are not penetrating, if they're not getting in behind you. I'm sitting there thinking they're going to concede in a minute. You could smell it. It was going to happen. And they did. Yeah. And then they really went on, and Fulham, in the end, were the strongest team.
Was there anything that Tottenham could have done to stop this from happening, Michael?
Very little. I think Lookman does brilliant here, wriggling away from his man and crossing the ball. Cavallero's a great header. It's similar in a way to the Tottenham goal. You're looking at it, trying to pick holes in the defence. Dyer, maybe his body shape was a little bit wrong, but the ball's been plonked right between centre-half and full-back. Very little either team could do, I feel, for both goals.
It was an instant impact from Lookman as well. He'd only come onto the pitch a few minutes before, putting that perfect ball into the box for his teammate.
It was a lovely bit of skill, actually, on the outside, and he caught Sanchez. He just started him really quickly. But you can do that, create a bit of skill, but you've got to put the end product on it, and he put an absolutely pearl of a crossing. And there's been 2 great headers today, really, for the goals.
Once Fulham got the equaliser, well, they went for it, didn't they, Michael? And they could have won it. Will they be ruining their chances?
Well, if Kamara had just lifted his head up later on. But this is the chance beforehand. Loftus-Cheek, I think he could have taken it a tiny bit earlier, half a stride earlier, and Dinklage just chipped it over him as he was oncoming. He's definitely onside. We can see the perfect timing of the pass.
Yeah, lovely.
But he almost jumps with his left foot. If you just watch here, he can hit it there now, and he just does an extra little hop with his left foot and tries to go low. I think he needs to take it early and flick it over. This is the chance I was talking about, Glenn, with Kamara.
This is a key. He's just got to get his head up. He's not once. Look, he's looked then.
You
it's
were
too
all
late.
screaming, pass it, weren't you?
Maybe.
Well, I was.
Not all
yeah,
of us.
not you, Glenn. Not you, Glenn. A few Spurs fans in the studio were.
That was the opportunity, just to get your head up, slide it across, and he's one-on-one with the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
And that was the opportunity. And that's where I see Tottenham as well. Half the team are attacking, and they're all over the place. And if they were going to sort of try and see a game out, they've got to be tighter than that. You can't leave yourself 2v1, in the dying stages of a game.
Well,